Hey man.
Hi, Sid. How you doing?
Good man. Good man. Okay, so let's get down to the first round of events. South Africa and India. Before the yeah, an indoor stadium in Joburg. I mean Durban, but that's another story for another time. So, what were your thoughts, man, on the Tide series? This is a fair result, eh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Um,
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
you're breaking up a bit there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Did you hear what I said before, or must I just repeat?
No, no, I did hear what you said. Okay, so
Okay.
with
Okay.
regards to the
Cool. Cool.
series, I think it was a fair result in the end. Because I mean, we surely have got a result in the series, definitely. So, look, the first game was washed out. The second game, obviously, the Dew played a massive factor in that run chase.
Mm.
That SA chased down. And then yesterday, I think it was a proper drubbing. SA completely outplayed in all departments. And I mean, the man of the series, Surya. I mean, he's a freak of
Yeah.
nature. He is a freak of
Yeah. Yeah.
nature. I mean, what an amazing series he's had. SA, a lot of experimenting in the series, and
Mm.
obviously we expected that. And
Mm.
I mean, 1-1 is a fair result, but
Yeah.
if we didn't get that washout in Durban, we would
Yeah.
definitely had a yeah. It could have been it could have been either way, but India really came to the party
Of
yesterday,
course.
and they were clinical. They were absolutely clinical.
Yeah, I noticed that the pitch started to take some turn, eh? I think towards the end of the Indian first innings. And then I was thinking, okay, the moment that started happening, I knew the Indian spinners were going to have Maja man on that pitch. Once India started to defend over 200 runs, it was really a truckload of runs. But it's especially by that margin, my prediction was right. Toward the end, when I started to see the ball turning, I knew, okay, the India were going to have fun on this pitch. But anyway, credit to them. And then, yeah, you're right. The dew did have a bit of an impact on India, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of this ODI stuff, especially when India's playing. I mean, what's the point of being bilateral kings if we can't win cups? So I'm more into the Test series.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
seriously. Okay, the
I
next is
I
actually
I,
going to
I
happen on
was
17th of December, which is actually in 2 days' time. Because the first one is Joburg, the second one's sorry, pardon?
yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with the way Kuldeep bowled yesterday because I mean, to get that amount of
Mm,
turn on at Wanderers, I mean, Wanderers is always renowned for pace and bounce, and I think he
mm,
he, he read the pitch, beautifully, and Jadeja as well. I think they both bowled beautifully in tandem. I mean, they didn't really give SA anything to hit away. I mean, and I mean, you could see the tail; they were all at sea. I mean, they couldn't
yeah,
read them. They couldn't read the ball coming out of Kuldeep's hand. So yeah, it is what it is. Hey, I mean, he was clinical on that wicket. Fantastic
mm,
figures, fantastic figures. 5 for 16. I mean, what more can you ask from your frontline spinner? And India bowl as a group, they bowl really well. But I think SA were completely outplayed. I mean, the approach in
yeah,
the first over was, I mean, that just set the tone for the entire chase. It was a bit disappointing to see because I mean, if you
yeah, yeah.
really want to lose, to be a bit critical, I mean, you'd rather just go down fighting, and
Of
obviously
course.
make it a bit of a contest. But I mean,
Mm,
I guess it's back to the drawing board on Sunday, and I mean, different format ODI. The only
Yeah.
thing is with SA, this white ball series, there's a lot of experimenting. So I think there's a lot of focus on the test matches. The test matches are going to be really, really important.
Yeah, I think on both sides,
Uh,
right? I think, yeah, Kohli's not playing, Rishabh's not playing. I know KL Rahul will be
yeah.
captain. I don't know if
Yeah,
Surya will be playing because
well, Kohli and Rohit haven't flown down as yet, so they're still on their way, to the shores. So you could say, Bumrah and Shami as well. They're not playing in the ODI series, so there is an opportunity there. I think the big talking point is, who's going to open with Riza, because Kuni is retired now. There's no Bavuma. I would be tempted to stick with I would be tempted to put Markram up the order with Riza for that new ball. I think they both complement each other quite well.
I think that will happen. I think that will happen because I don't think Bavuma is playing in the 50 overs, and Markram is still going to be captain. And then I think if I'm looking at the squad of 15, Markram is captain. Hendricks is there in the squad, so it's kind of predictable. Those two will open the batting, and then I'm surprised just a normal day game in Joburg. But my only theory for that is because of the load shedding in Joburg. I think they don't want to waste electricity. Rather have it's a straight day game, and then the last two ODIs are going to be day nighters. Because in a normal world, they'd have Joburg as a day nighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but usually on a Sunday, spectators and stuff, and obviously a pink day as well, for breast cancer awareness. So yeah, it's going to be a fun day out.
Okay.
And I know the tickets have already been sold out already, so it's going to be quite a spectacle.
Oh. I'm trying to see, yeah. Oh yeah, right. KL Rahul captain and Surya Kumar Yadav was not even in the squad for the 50 overs. So yeah, and with due respect to Surya, I think he's just a waste of time in 50 overs. So I think he's better off at T20.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player in T20 cricket, but I think 50 overs he hasn't had that much opportunities because India's 50 over side has been so, I'd say, so settled in terms of their approach and the batting. The top four have scored so heavily, so Surya hasn't been given much chance in.
Kishan not in the squad here for 50 overs. Yeah, but look at this. Ishan Kishan is not even in the squad for 50 overs. I don't know what the selectors are smoking, man. Okay, fine. Tilak is in the squad. I don't want that. Rinku is in the squad. Samson's in the squad. Wow, never would have expected that. Yeah, Saya Stor Darshan, another talented boy. He's in the squad. Okay, they're both experimenting, so it should be full of maja. Should be fun. And as I said, I don't mind whoever. I don't mind even this series actually. Because
I've been very impressed with. Sorry, man. I've been very impressed with the way Rinku is batted. The little I've seen of him in the Australia series, and obviously the second game in the series, he's been phenomenal. So, but I do agree with you. I think Ishan not playing the ODI series is a bit of a surprise for me. Yeah, KL Rahul is going to be captain, as you said.
Yeah. He's actually improved a lot. So I don't mind him being captain. Before I used to really bash him a lot. Me and you both. But I'm okay with him now. He's improved a lot. Like Markram, I wasn't a fan of Markram too as captain, but he's improved a lot. So it's okay. I would call it the improving captain series, if you would know what I mean. Both improving captains against one another should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been impressed with Markram. Although Australia SA lost quite heavily yesterday, but I think his captaincy in the series, the way he's marshaled his bowlers. Let's be honest. It's been a relatively young attack that he's had to bowl with. In terms of caps, national caps, and age-wise as well. But
I'm surprised
he's marshaled the team quite well.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jansen didn't play yesterday. Unless they're resting for the test matches, but that's weird.
Well, Jansen and Kutsia rested for the test matches. So, the only thing I can think of is they're certainly in the squad for the test matches because I think Nokia has still not recovered from his injury. So, Kutsia, I've been so impressed with Kutsia from the World Cup right up till now. I think he's he's got wheels. I mean, he's a great find for the Proteas, and and in this generation of fast bowling that they always produce good fast bowlers. I think he's one in that line as well. With the likes of Snane, the likes of Mornay, the likes of Alan Donald. Going back some time. So, I mean, he's in that same tradition of producing good fast bowlers. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a phenomenal bowler in all formats for SA going forward, and particularly in the test arena as well.
Yeah, Kutsia's not in the 50-over squad, but I think he's probably being rested for the test matches, which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man,
both are definite starters in the test.
Yeah, sorry.
Janssen and Kutsia are definite starters. Yeah.
Now, looking at this bowling squad, it's really thin, eh? You have Lazard, you have, who else is there? There's Mishlali, I don't know how to pronounce this South African guy's name. Okay, but that's thin, fine, you got Keshav, Tabriz, but other than that, it's really inexperienced. And Ndile is okay, but from there, I mean, the spinners seem to be the best bowlers in the squad, man. Then you have Pat Neil, then you have Nandre, I think Berger bowled yesterday. Yeah, he was fine. I won't penalize him because he was fine. It was only his first game yesterday, I think, in international cricket for SA, and he was all over the place. I don't want to bash him yet. So, it's 50 overs, I think he should have more time to get into the groove. So, yeah, if I'm looking at the two squads, India look like heavy favorites, man. When I look at these two squads, which is pretty sad. Because I thought if they're going to have Maja with India in the ODI, then in the Test series, India can have that.
Yeah, I mean that is why I think India are probably favorites for the series, because I mean, as you just look at SA's bowling attack, SA's bowling attack has been quite thin. So a lot of focus is going to be on the batting, and how many runs they can. The top four has got to score heavy again. I mean, like it was in the World Cup. They're going to be quite aligned on the batting lineup because the bowling is looking quite thin. And they need to get those substantial totals, batting first, or if they're chasing, they've got to take responsibility, the top five, and get those runs going. But that bowling lineup is looking quite thin. I can't remember the last time that I've seen such an inexperienced Proteas bowling lineup in a bilateral series. So, I mean, it is what it is, but it's also exciting to see what these youngsters can bring to the party, So, I mean, if they can win a series with this kind of bowling attack, I think it bodes well for the depth in the squad.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm just trying to remember now, but I think it's already anyways qualified for the next 50 over World Cup, so they can pretty much do what they like with this bowling attack for now. But obviously, they have to get the best players, playing, and I think the same thing probably qualifies for them for the T20 Cup, along with India. So even if India lose the rest of their one-day matches, they'll still have fun going to the next World Cup. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. But
I hope we get some good pitches. I hope we get some batting pitches.
Really promising. Yeah, hopefully they're much more friendlier to South Africa, because that pitch in Joburg, once SA started to chase, that was really looking subcontinental. So if they're proper flat pitches, meaning there's good pace and bounce, I think SA Batsmen will enjoy it. But if they're going to start turning, it's going to be pretty depressing for them. But I think it's a 3-match series, so the depression won't last that long, because the test matches will be spicy. So that'll be fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to the test matches. So I'm okay sacrificing I can digest India losing the ODI stuff, because I don't care much for it. For India, that is. Yeah, I think the World Cup's kind of made me feel disillusioned with India, to be honest. I've kind of not got over it yet. I'm looking forward to most of the test matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a pity that we're playing 2 tests, because I would have preferred a 3-test series. I think it would have been a lot more exciting.
Our financial situation is crap, you know this, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the SA20 as well is...
Yeah, you can't even blame the ICC for it, because I think the ICC would have probably wanted to put another test match in there, but it is what it is, as you say, and I think it's fine. You know what's funny? If we manage to go to the test final with the limited amount of test matches, that'll be the biggest excitement ever. And then you have another SA and India final in test cricket, which I could see happening. For India going through with the test final, that'd be good. And then SA and India together. That'll be fun.
New Zealand have shown that they, I mean, by not playing too many test matches, but having a fantastic home record, you can reach the World Test Championship final, WTC final. And I mean, they showed in 2018 to 2020, you know, how to get it done. And, you know, they're reaching the World Test Championship final. And I would say upsetting India in that final and winning the title. So it can be done. It can be done. But I think your home record is vitally important as well. So.
Yeah, man, but that's my theory regarding those test finals. If you ever notice those test finals, teams that have been there earlier in advance and have gotten a chance to get used to the conditions have generally won. New Zealand got used to English conditions and they whooped India's butt eventually in the finals, and then Australia also had some acclimatization and then they won. And those pitches were really suited for the Western team. That's why I feel the venue should be changed, but I think they're trying to appease the broadcasters, because if you have the final anywhere else other than England, you'll get good crowd. But they also in Australia also, the test final, so why should they be restricted to England? So maybe it's time difference. I don't know what weird reasons I used to come up with, but that can be a story for another time. Let's get to England and to West Indies. West Indies beat the Pommies 2-1 in the 50 over stuff, and they're leading 2-0 in the T20 stuff. It's nice to see West Indies doing well. Hopefully they can find a way of... Well, I think the only way is going to play in the T20 World Cup by default because they host. I don't know. 50 over World Cup, I think they'll have to qualify for that, but hopefully they qualify. Cricket needs West Indies, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what England are doing in the series as well. There's a lot of experimenting going on. A lot of senior players have been, being kept at home. I think the one concern for me when I look at England is their bowling. Their bowling looks a bit thin. In certain games, they were actually taken apart in the T20s and in the ODIs. So that is something that's a cause for concern. I mean, Sam Curran, he was so impressive in the T20 World Cup, a year back. But it seems like he's dipped a bit in form. I mean, all players have that kind of phase in their careers. But look, it's good for the Windies. I mean, where they've been in the last year, I think to end the year off with an ODI win and a T20 series win. I mean, it's looking good at the moment, 2-0 up. It will be quite encouraging for them because they haven't had it easy in the last, I'd say, year. The West Indies cricket has been in absolute turmoil. It's been an absolute shambles. I mean, from not qualifying for the major leg of the T20 World Cup, getting dumped down in the qualifiers of the 50 over World Cup. I mean, you could have asked for it was very, very challenging for them as a unit. So it's good to see them, lift themselves up. I think bringing in a few players, freshening the squad up, has really helped, and I think the mindset has changed as well. I got to give credit to the coaching staff as well, especially Darren Sammy. I think he's done well with this group of players, and you can see there's a change here. But I mean, still a long way to go. I mean, come T20 World Cup time, England is still a dangerous side, eh? So you really can't write them off. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it was very important for the morale of West Indies cricket for them to finish off on a high this year, because it hasn't been.
But if you notice,
it hasn't been a good year.
Yeah, but if you notice, these pitches have been turning. So I think the subcontinental teams are going to have Maja on those pitches, and I think the Western teams are not going to have Maja. They're going to be struggling, man. And okay, fine, English spinners are good, but I think I'd like to see 3 teams winning that World Cup. One will be India, South Africa, and then West Indies. Those are my 3 I'd like to see winning. And obviously Pakistan can come fourth. That's pretty much it. And New Zealand last. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Hey, I mean, as you said, those pitches did take a lot of turn, and the windy spinners have been like, I mean, Akil Hussain and what's the other guy, the left armer? Moti. I think they've been great in the way they've controlled, the innings. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at the fast bowlers, they've been taken apart. So it is quite interesting times, and I do agree with you. I think slow pitches will definitely bring the subcontinent teams into it. But I mean, Australia as well, they're such a great team when it comes to adapting to conditions. So you can never write them off. But it's going to be a really open World Cup, I feel, sir. There's so many teams in this next format. It's I would say it's one of the most open World Cups that you could call. You really can't call a winner at the moment.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. But T20 is generally very open. I mean, look what happened in the previous Australian World Cup, where you had the Netherlands upsetting us. So, although I don't know what happened. Yeah. Although I think woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Even the time when the match started was really whacked. 2 a.m. in the morning. I mean, who does that, man? If I had played in the afternoon, I think we would have had enough rest and we would have had our brains in check and we would have made it through to the semis. Not that I'm making any excuses, but the time was so weird, man. 2 a.m. in the morning, F you, man. Excuse my language, but God, I'm sleeping at that time.
Well, I mean, the scheduling was a bit strange. I think the ICC
also quite lack in the West Indies. Oh, no, not so bad. It's
I think the ICC were looking at that game and thinking there wasn't much, to play for in that game because they were probably expecting an SA win. But I mean, T20 cricket is so unpredictable, and it just goes to show. And Netherlands, I mean, on their day they can beat any team. So I mean, they showed in the qualifiers as well, beating the West Indies. So
yeah, they showed it. Yeah, they did well also in the 50 World Cup. They beat us again, which was a double embarrassment. Come on, 20 overs, I could find a way of getting over it somehow. I still can't get over it, even trying. In the 50 overs, it kind of rubs me more up the wrong way. But it's fine. We still made it semis, and well, that's the rest of history. But yeah, let's get down to the next segment. The draw series between Bangladesh and New Zealand, and let's get to our favorite topic, pitches. Hey, the first test match, the pitch was a fair one, although it was a slow turn, and yet Bangladesh won. And then the second one was a typical Bangladesh pitch, and New Zealand beat them at their own game. So I don't know what to honestly say, man. I'm pretty speechless. I thought they were going to win. I mean, I look stupid now because I did tell you they were going to win because of home advantage. So what are your thoughts, man?
I think it was a bit of a lost opportunity for Bangladesh, because I mean they had New Zealand on the ropes. I mean they played great cricket in that first test, I mean, their bowling changes and their batting was a lot better. But I mean, in the second pitch, I mean, I would like to criticize the pitch a bit because I think it wasn't a really good test wicket, and I think the ICC is going to look at it and give it demerit points to get those kind of totals in 4 innings and in those 4 innings for a team to not pass 200, which I feel was down to the pitch as such. So yeah, I mean, New Zealand, as you said, Bangladesh got beaten at their own game. The New Zealand spinners were fantastic in that second innings, especially Satna and Patel. They really controlled that innings. So I mean, I just heard something from the New Zealand skipper Tim Southey, and he said that probably the worst test wicket he's played on because I mean he bowled five overs for no runs, 5 maidens. So I mean, it was so much in favor of the bowlers, I feel.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do get those kind of wickets on the subcontinent from time to time. So I think it's something that you've got to live with sometimes,
Yeah. But I think that the batsmen applied themselves more on that pitch. I think they probably might have got away with the pitch being average, but when when the team don't last that long, you kind of make it easier for the match referee to think even worse of that pitch. Not that I'm defending the pitch, but sometimes when you don't apply yourself also, you make the pitch look worse than what it looked, if that makes sense to you.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think application could have been better from Bangladesh as well. I mean, the way Mushfiqur was, dismissed in that first innings. I mean, handling the ball, which was really disappointing, especially from a senior player. You should not expect that from a senior player. And I mean, he's played enough cricket. I mean, he's been playing cricket for the last 16 years. He's been in this Bangladesh side. So you expect a little bit better from your senior players. So that was disappointing. I thought that was a turning point in the test match for me. Because, I mean, had Mushfiqur batted towards the end of the day, you could see over 250 for Bangladesh. But to me, that obviously orchestrated the collapse in that first innings for Bangladesh. And although the spinners came out and fought, I think they were always chasing the game thereafter. So that was very disappointing to see. Kind of bit complacent, I feel, as well. A little bit complacent.
Not to sound controversial, but his dismissal reminded me of that Beso dismissal. Just brain phase, man. Just too brain phase.
Absolutely. I think that's a fair comment. If you talk about a brain fade here, then that's probably it. I mean, you got to understand the rules of the game as well, and you got to stay within the rules of the game. And I don't think he did that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the Australians and the Pakistanis. Okay, this is interesting. Australia with a nice total of 487, and the Pakistanis really grinded it down so far, 132 for 2 or 53 overs. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought the Pakistan would have just rolled over today, and Australia would have probably won the match by the fourth day. But if Pakistan still grinded out, it'll go to the fifth day. I think it's a good pitch, when I look at it. I think it's got a nice bounce. It does steam around. It's just like one of those. It's not like the Brisbane pitch for sure. That was disgraceful. But this seems like it could be a fair pitch. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think Pakistan. This game could have easily ran away from them. I mean, yesterday with the likes of Warner. I mean, the way Warner batted and hit, but they kept on chipping away. They kept on getting wickets. I mean, he had Australia 5 down, and then today, I think at one stage we were looking at 500, 550 for the Aussies, but I think bowling them out for 487, and I was very happy. I was very impressed with the application that Pakistan showed in the innings. I mean, we can talk about the batting being slow and stuff, but I think there was a genuine effort to actually take the shine off that new ball, and I think they did that. So. It'd make it probably easier for the middle order to come in and play the ball tomorrow. And day 3 is always the best day to bat on as well. So I think tomorrow Pakistan would really have to cash in there, because I think they've done the hard work already. They built a platform. 133 for 2 is actually a good return. And then tomorrow is just about converting those starts now, where a few batsmen have they haven't converted. I think some questionable shots. I think Masood. I mean, I was impressed with him, the way that he came out and batted. But I think that shot towards the end, he could have just he could have let that ball go. He didn't need to play at it. I think the way that they approached the innings and keeping the Aussies in the sun, they toiling for 52 overs was good enough. And 1 down after the close, I'd say it's Pakistan's day. But I think with 2 down, I kind of say it's probably an even day in the sense. Had it been 1 down, I would definitely say it's Pakistan's day. But Pakistan are still in this game.
Yeah, I would say Australia is still in control. If you know how Australia are, they'll probably come tomorrow harder, and then. Yeah, I'm looking at this batting for tomorrow. Babar Azam, Soj, Shakil, Salfara. So it's decent batting up to, I think even Fahim can bat a bit. Ashraf. Then I think it's just the bowlers. Shaheen and... Hey, Jamal did well on debut. 6 wickets. Good for him. I must see how he got those wickets. I can just catch it up and catch up.
A lot of bowls. I think it was a very impressive debut for Jamal. A lot of bowls, so... I think he was trying to push the ball, keep the ball full, and he surprised a lot of the Australian batsmen. So that is why I say it's actually been a good day for Pakistan, in the sense that this could have easily been over 500, 550.
Okay.
But I think getting Australia out for 487. I mean, I know Australia still have a big lead, but if Pakistan can bat tomorrow, and if they can bat towards the end, till the end, I think they stand a good chance of actually saving this test match. Sir.
Yeah, I was telling you yesterday on my voice note that if they get a drawn series, I think that's more of a win for them than for Australia. I think Australia will be very disappointed.
Absolutely. I mean, with the way Australia have actually played in this test match so far, they've been so far ahead for quite some time. For Pakistan to show some character, I think it's very important for them to show some character tomorrow. It'd be nice to see Babar get some runs.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. I hope he really gets some runs because Shane, he had a awful World Cup. A skipper
Yeah,
and a
absolutely. I mean,
batsman. And yeah, but anyway, I'm over that now. I mean, I'm over for Pakistan. India one will be a bit more difficult to get over, but anyway, that's history now. I'm trying to remember now. What else is there? Yeah, Pakistan must just bat like Pujara, just grind out the Australian bowlers and then thank them to smithereens tomorrow. That's my thinking.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of template that you need to have. I think Australia, when you take the game to them and you actually grind them out, I think that's where they actually lose their control at times. So I think it's very important for Pakistan to bat time, but also to be
Yeah.
positive when the ball is there to be hit. You know, you go after it.
But
So
you know what I
yeah,
found?
it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting.
But you know what I found weird was Pujara, the second time he went to Australia, he was more defensive than the first time he was there when they first won that series 2-1. If you remember, I mean, though Pujara batted a lot of balls, he made a lot of runs. In the second time he came to Australia, he batted a lot of balls, but he made less runs. So what Pakistan needs to do is bat like the Pujara when he made a lot of runs, not when he just ate up a lot of balls, if that makes sense to you.
Well, I mean, you really can't, you can't crucify Pujara for the way he played in that tour because I think there were a lot of senior players that were missing. So
Okay.
I think he did his job there and, trying to grind out the Australian batting lineup and one of the great test match series wins for any visiting side in Australia. So yeah, I mean, it'll be good to see Pakistan show some fight tomorrow and if they can bat, as I said, throughout the day, I think they got a good chance of saving this test match. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, unless they do the Adelaide, which I remember two totals of over 500. Then Australia were trying to make a game out of nothing, and then India chased it with Rahul Dravid chasing. And this that happens, yeah, I don't think Pakistan's consolation prize is a draw. But miracles can happen. I always hope a miracle.
It will be one of the greatest test wins if that were to happen. It'll be one of the greatest wins for Pakistan in the history of Test cricket if they manage to do that. So
it's Australia win and a draw. Let's put it that way. That's what we see realistically will happen.
I mean, as you said, I wouldn't be too perturbed with a draw because I mean, a draw going to Melbourne, I think Pakistan will be happy with that. So I think the longer they stay in the series, I think the better it is for them to get a result. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Okay, any final words before you wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, looking forward to a better performance from SA in the ODI series. I think yesterday they probably, I think they lacked intent in the way they played. India were all over them, so hoping for a good game on Sunday on the pink day. Always an exciting game of the Wanderers on a pink day.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is the day game, so the pitch will be pretty much the same throughout. So I think there won't be too much advantage. I think that SA batted first yesterday, and then that could have been an interesting match yesterday because SA put India into bat yesterday. It seemed a little bit silly in hindsight, but it happens. It's part of the game. But second ODI, second T20. I think India won the toss and bowled, isn't it? Or did SA do that as well?
The SA won both tosses, so. So Sky hasn't had much, success with tosses. He's been losing tosses, from the from the home series, to Australia. But I mean, it was. I would say it was probably the right decision, because I mean the Wanderers is such a difficult ground to defend totals. The altitude and the ball goes. The ball really does fly the Wanderers. So. Yeah, I think he was looking into that, but I mean, didn't expect the pitch to play the way it played. I think as you said, it really was like a subcontinental deck. It was spinning all about, and it was keeping low as well. I mean, look at the dismissal of Ferreira. I mean, that ball kept so low.
Yeah, I saw that on catch up.
Yeah,
me and my catch up.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay, I shall check you out next week, man.
Yeah, cheers, man, and enjoy the rest of the long weekend, and see you soon. And hopefully we'll be talking about we'll be talking about the eagerly awaiting Test series starting on Boxing Day.
Oh, so sorry. Before I wrap up quickly, I just want to check the dates quickly for the Test matches. Okay, yeah, the third one ends on the 21st, which is my sister's birthday actually, and then The first test match is actually on the 26th. So yeah, I'll probably catch you up on that next week for the review. There.
Okay.
Take
Enjoy
care.
the rest of your weekend, Sid.
All right.
Chat to you soon.
Cheers.